HI shut off the lights, took my gift back, and left without a sound. I am 34 male. My wife Alina is 32. We have been married for 5 years, together for 7 total. I thought we had something solid, not perfect, but real. The kind of marriage where you know exactly what you are getting and you choose it anyway every single day. Yesterday was our 5th anniversary. I had been planning this surprise for 3 months. Custom-designed platinum band with 3 diamonds. One for our past, one for our present, and the largest one for the future I thought we were building together. I also had 2 first-class tickets to the Amalfi Coast tucked into my jacket pocket. Italy was her dream trip. She had been hinting about it since our honeymoon, when we could only afford a long weekend in Florida. I left work 3 hours early. Told my secretary it was a family emergency. I parked my car down the street so Alina would not see it in the driveway. I wanted the element of total surprise. I let myself in through the back door of the house I pay the mortgage on. It was Tuesday. Why night? Usually I make myself scarce on Tuesdays. Stay late at the office or hit the gym so Alina and her friends can vent about work, life, and whatever reality show they are obsessed with. But today was different. Today was our anniversary. The house was dim. Lit only by the expensive candles I bought her last Christmas. I could hear them in the living room, the clinking of glasses, the raucous laughter, the distinct sound of inhibitions dissolving in Pinot Grigio. I crept through the kitchen smiling like an idiot. I was about to walk into the hallway when I heard my name. Mark. Oh, please. Mark is not going to care if I am late tonight. Alina's voice floated through the air. It was not affectionate, it was dismissive. A tone I had heard her use with telemarketers, not her husband. He's probably still at that soul-sucking office crunching numbers. Her friend Jessica cackled. Jessica is single, perpetually in a complicated situation with a married man and generally miserable. God, how do you deal with it, Alina? He is so vanilla. I froze, my hand tightened around the velvet box. I waited for Alina to defend me. I waited for her to say he works hard for us or he is the most loyal man I know. Instead, I heard the sound of wine being poured. Vanilla is putting it kindly, Jess. Alina said. The slur in her voice told me she was already 2 bottles deep. Mark is safe. He is a Honda Civic, reliable, gets you from A to B, does not break down. Safe is good though, right? This was Sarah. Sarah is the quiet one, the only one in the group who seems to have a moral compass. He loves you. He bought you that car. He pays for everything. Sarah, sweetie, stop being such a pragmatist. Alina snapped, her voice sharpening. Yes, he pays the bills. That is what husbands are for. But does he set me on fire? Number, does he walk into a room and command attention? No. He walks into a room and asks if anyone needs a coaster. The room erupted in laughter. My stomach turned to lead. I stood there in the dark hallway, the smell of her expensive perfume drifting toward me, feeling like an intruder in my own life. I need a wolf. Alina continued, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper that I could hear perfectly clearly, not a golden retriever. Look at Ryan from marketing. Now that is a man. My blood ran cold. Ryan, the guy she mentioned casually a few times. The work friend who helped her with presentations. Jessica asked, sounding intrigued. The one with the jawline? The same. Alina purred. We had lunch today. The way he looks at me, it is primal. He makes me feel like I am 22 again. If Ryan actually made a move, like a real move, I do not know if I would have the willpower to say no. Honestly, I feel like I settled with Mark. I panicked because I was almost 30 and he was there, holding a ring. Looking like a safe bet. I could do so much better than him. Marriage? No thanks. If I could do it over, I would stay single, play the field, and land a guy like Ryan who actually excites me. But now I am stuck playing house with a man who thinks a wild night is ordering spicy Thai food, so leave him. Jessica challenged. There was a pause, a long, heavy silence. I cannot. Alina sighed. The cruelty in her voice replaced by a cold, calculating practicality that hurt worse than the insults. I have the lease, the car payments, the student loans. Mark handles all of that. I cannot leave until I secure something better. Ryan has not committed yet. Until he does, I have to play the part of the happy wife. It is our anniversary today, actually. I have to pretend to like whatever thoughtful, boring gift he got me. You are terrible. Jessica laughed, but it was an admiring laugh. I am realistic. Alina said, cheers to the stepping stones ladies. Clink. I did not storm in. I did not kick down the door and scream at her. I did not throw the wine in her face or demand an explanation. In that moment, standing in the shadows of the hallway, the Mark she knew died. The golden retriever she mocked was put down. I slowly backed away, moved with the silence of a ghost. Stepped backward through the kitchen, careful not to creak the floorboards. I reached the back door, opened it with agonizing slowness, and slipped out into the cool night air. I walked to my car parked down the street. My hands were not shaking, my heart was not racing. I felt nothing but a hollow, vibrating void where my love used to be. I sat in the driver's seat and looked at the house. I could see the glow of the living room window. I could see her silhouette moving around, animated, alive, mocking the life I had built for us. I placed the ring box in the glove compartment and locked it. I pulled out my phone. Contact Elena. Blocked. I started the engine. It purred to life. Reliable, steady, just like she hated. I drove straight to the hotel I had booked for our romantic weekend staycation that was supposed to start tomorrow. I walked up to the front desk. Checking in, the receptionist asked, "Yes, and I would like to upgrade to the presidential suite, please. Just one, sir?" "Yeah, my wife could not make it. She is busy entertaining friends." I went up to the room, ordered a steak and a double whiskey, and sat by the window looking out over the city lights. I did not cry. I did not scream. I simply waited for the morning and the inevitable fallout of a utility that had suddenly and permanently been shut off. Update 1 week later. This blew up more than I expected. Thanks for all the messages. I slept like a baby that night. The deep, dreamless sleep of a man who had been carrying a heavy rucksack up a mountain for 5 years only to suddenly drop it off a cliff. When I woke up, the high thread count sheets of the presidential suite felt like a cocoon. I ordered room service before I even looked at my phone. Eggs Benedict, black coffee, fresh fruit. I wanted to enjoy the silence a little longer. At 10 in the morning, I finally turned my phone back on. It vibrated violently on the nightstand. A seizure of notifications that lasted for a full 2 minutes. 47 missed calls from Elena. 12 missed calls from Jessica. 3 missed calls from Elena's mom, and a barrage of texts that painted a perfect picture of her emotional state. 11:30 at night. "Where are you?" "The girls just left." 12:15 in the morning. "This is not funny, Mark. It is our anniversary." 1:45 in the morning. "Did you really go back to the office? You are unbelievable." 3 in the morning. "I am scared. Please answer." 7:30 in the morning. "Jessica drove by your office." "Your car is not there. Where the hell are you?" 8:15 in the morning. "You are being a child. Come home." She had not realized I had been in the house. She just thought I was being my usual boring self, working late, being inconsiderate. She was angry, not remorseful. She felt entitled to my presence even while she was actively planning to replace me. Then I saw a notification from Instagram, a direct message request from Sarah. "Mark, I do not know if you will read this, but when I left last night, I saw your car pulling away from down the street. You were there, were you not? You heard what she said. I feel sick about it. I should have shut it down, but I was a coward. She has been crying all morning, not because she thinks she lost you, but because she thinks you are punishing her by staying out all night. She does not know you heard the Ryan stuff, but honestly, you did the right thing walking away. She does not deserve the loyalty you give her. Do not go back." I stared at the screen. Validation. Cold, hard proof that I was not crazy, that I was not overreacting. Sarah, the quiet one, had just handed me the smoking gun. I did not reply to Sarah. I did not want to drag her into the crossfire. Instead, I opened my banking app. Elena had a supplementary credit card on my account. It was for groceries and emergencies, but usually ended up funding her Sephora hauls and wine Wednesdays. Status active. Click. Canceled. Next, I transferred half of the joint savings, exactly my contribution plus interest, into my personal high-yield account. I left her share. I was not a thief. I was just closing the bank. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. It was Elena. I answered, finally. Her voice was shrill, a mix of panic and fury. "Do you have any idea how embarrassed I was? My parents called to wish us a happy anniversary, and I had to lie and say you were in the shower." "Where are you?" "I am at a hotel." My voice was calm, unsettlingly calm. "A hotel? Why, Mark, if this is about me venting to the girls, you need to grow up. We were just blowing off steam. You know how Jessica gets. She riles everyone up." "I heard you, Elena." The line went dead silent. The kind of silence that sucks the air out of a room. "You what?" she stammered, her voice dropping an octave. "I was in the hallway. I came home early to surprise you. I had the ring. I had the tickets to Italy. And I heard you say I was a stepping stone. I heard you say you wanted a wolf. I heard you say you would leave me for Ryan if he asked." "Mark, baby, no." She started crying immediately. The weaponized tears I had seen her use to get out of speeding tickets. "I was drunk. It was just talk. You know I love you. I was just trying to fit in with Jessica. It did not mean anything. It meant everything. You called me a Honda Civic. Reliable, safe, boring. I did not mean it like that. I know exactly how you meant it, and you were right. I am reliable, which is why I am reliably informing you that we are done." "Done?" She laughed. A nervous, hysterical sound. "You cannot be serious over one conversation. Mark, we are married. You cannot just throw away 5 years. You threw it away the moment you compared me to another man in our own home. I canceled the credit card. I am contacting a lawyer today. The lease is up in 30 days. I suggest you start packing or call Ryan. Maybe he has room in his den for a wolf." "Mark, stop. You are scaring me. You cannot do this." "I am drowning, Mark. I can barely afford gas. I am your wife. You are welcome to fight this in court, but I have nothing else to say to you." I hung up. Then I blocked her number again. Over the next few days, I hired a lawyer who specialized in no-nonsense dissolutions. Since we rented and did not have kids, the split was going to be surgical. I let her keep the furniture. I did not want the memories. Her mom called me from a different number. Left a voicemail saying I was being cruel and vindictive. That Alina made one mistake and I was overreacting. That I needed to be a man and work through this like adults do. I saved the voicemail. Did not respond. Alina started spinning the narrative immediately. According to mutual friends, she had entered her empowerment era. She posted quotes on social media about outgrowing spaces and refusing to settle for mediocrity. She was trying to make it look like she had left me, but I knew the truth. And soon everyone else would too. Update 2-3 weeks later. Things escalated exactly how I predicted. Alina went straight for Ryan. Of course she did. She was free now. The boring husband was gone and she was ready to be claimed by the wolf. It played out almost exactly as I had expected, though the speed of the crash surprised even me. Ryan, it turned out, was 28. Had a leased BMW he could not afford, and had a roster of women he rotated through like seasonal tires. He enjoyed the chase. He enjoyed the idea of sleeping with a married woman. But the moment Alina showed up at his door with luggage looking for a passionate connection and a place to crash because her husband had cut off the funding, the wolf turned out to be a coyote. Scavenging, skittish, and uninterested in responsibility. I heard the details from Sarah, who checked in on me occasionally over coffee. He slept with her for 2 weeks. Sarah told me. Then he told her she was too intense and that he was not looking for anything serious. He ghosted her, Mark. Literal ghosting, blocked her on everything. That is unfortunate, I said, taking a sip of my espresso. I did not smile, I did not gloat. It was just a fact. Gravity pulls things down. Ryan pulls women down. It is physics. She is staying with Jessica now. Sarah continued grimacing, and you know how Jessica is. She loves the drama, but she hates sharing her space. They are already fighting. Alina is realizing that freedom is expensive. It was true. Without my income, the math of Alina's life did not work. She worked as a mid-level coordinator at a marketing firm. Her salary covered her student loans, her car lease, and maybe her brunch habit. It did not cover rent in our city, utilities, insurance, and the lifestyle she felt entitled to. She had called me financially boring. She was learning that boring meant solvent. Meanwhile, I was busy engaging in some reconstruction of my own. I took the money I would have spent on the Italy trip and hired a personal trainer. I was not fat, but I was dad bod soft. I told the trainer I wanted to be able to deadlift my previous emotional baggage. I started going to the gym at 5 in the morning every day. The physical pain was grounding. It replaced the emotional dullness. Within 3 months, I had dropped 20 pounds of fat and put on 10 of muscle. I also buried myself in work, but not the safe work Alina mocked. I took risks. I pitched a high-stakes merger strategy to the partners, a wolfish move I usually would have shied away from. They loved it. I was promoted to senior director within the quarter. Suddenly, I was making 40% more money, looking 100% better, and carrying 0% of the dead weight I had been dragging around for half a decade. I started noticing women noticing me. It was strange at first. I was used to being the invisible husband, but now when I walked into a bar or a meeting, heads turned. I was not just reliable anymore. I was competent, fit, and radiated the dangerous confidence of a man who no longer needed anyone's validation. Then came the email, not from her personal account, from her work email sent to my work email so I could not block it without IT involvement. Subject line, please read, I am sorry, Mark, I know you hate me, I know I messed up. Ryan was a mistake. I was having a midlife crisis early, I think. I let Jessica get in my head. I miss you, I miss us. I miss our home. I am sleeping on Jessica's couch and it smells like cat and I just want my husband back. I realized that what I called boring was actually peace. Please, can we just get coffee? Just 10 minutes, I need to see you. I read it twice. The old Mark, the golden retriever, would have felt a pang of sympathy. He would have remembered her crying, remembered the good times, and thought about rescuing her. But the new Mark. The Mark who had forged himself in the fire of her betrayal. I did not feel sympathy. I felt a profound sense of irony. She did not miss me. She missed the house. She missed the car payments. She missed the peace that my wallet provided. She had jumped from the safety of the ship into the ocean, realized she could not swim, and was now mad that I had not thrown her a life preserver. I knew she would not stop. Narcissists do not handle silence well. It challenges their existence. If I did not give her a final definitive no, she would haunt the periphery of my life forever. I decided to give her what she wanted, one final meeting, not to reconcile, but to let her see with her own eyes exactly what she had thrown away. I replied, Starbucks on 4th and Main, Tuesday, 6 in the evening, 10 minutes. It was time to close the book. Update 3 final. 2 months since everything started, time for the final update. I arrived at Starbucks at 6 on the dot. Punctuality is a habit of successful people, and I was feeling very successful. I spotted Alina immediately. She was sitting at a corner table nursing a latte. The visual contrast between the woman I had left 2 months ago and the woman sitting there now was jarring. The old Alina was polished, manicured, radiant with the confidence of someone whose life was fully subsidized. This Alina looked frayed. Her roots were showing, a harsh line of dark against the expensive blonde highlights I used to pay for. She was wearing a sweater I recognized, but it looked worn. Her shoulders were hunched in a defensive posture. I, on the other hand, was wearing a tailored navy suit I had bought for the board meeting that morning. I felt the kind of calm power that comes from having zero secrets and zero debts. I walked over. She looked up and her eyes widened. "Mark," she breathed. She stood up to hug me, reaching out instinctively. I did not move forward. I did not open my arms. I just stood there, hands in my pockets, creating a wall of invisible glass between us. "Sit down, Alina." My tone was polite, but it was the politeness you use with a stranger who cuts in line. She froze, her arms dropping awkwardly to her sides. She sat back down. I took the seat opposite her. "You look incredible," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "You have been working out? You look like you did in college. Better, actually." "I have a lot of free time now that I am not managing a dependent." She flinched. "Mark, please, do not be like that. I know you are hurt. I know I messed up. Ryan was a mistake. I was having a midlife crisis early, I think. I let Jessica get in my head. I miss you. I miss us. I miss our home. I miss our Sunday mornings. I miss the way you make coffee. I miss feeling safe." She reached across the table again, trying to find my hand. I moved mine to pick up my water. "I miss you, Mark." She continued, tears welling up in her eyes. "People make mistakes, right? We have been together 7 years. Does that not mean anything? Can we not just hit reset?" I looked at her, really looked at her. I searched for the love I used to feel. I looked for the spark that would make me want to save her. There was nothing, just a dull recognition of a person I used to know. "You did not miss me when you were in bed with Ryan," I said. Her face went pale. "I was trying to get over you. I was hurting." "No, Alina, you were not hurting. You were monkey branching. You thought you had a firm grip on the next branch, so you let go of me, but the branch snapped. That is the only reason we are sitting here. If Ryan had been rich and committed, you would not be here. You would be planning a wedding." "That is not true," she hissed, her sadness flashing into that familiar anger. "I love you. You love the lifestyle," I said simply. "You are living on Jessica's couch. You are broke. You are realizing that the boring Honda Civic actually carried the entire weight of your existence. And now you have to walk. So that is it?" She snapped, her mask slipping completely. "You are just going to punish me forever. You are going to be this cold, heartless robot. I am drowning, Mark. I can barely afford gas. I am your wife, ex-wife. The papers were finalized yesterday. Your lawyer should have called you." She stared at me, her mouth slightly open, the fight drained out of her, replaced by pure terror. "You signed them." "I did, but I thought we could fix this." "Alina," I leaned forward slightly. "Do you remember what you said that night? The night of our anniversary." She looked down. "I was drunk. You said I could do so much better than him." I thought about that a lot. For weeks it ate me alive. I looked in the mirror and wondered why I was not enough. Why my loyalty was not enough. Why my love was not enough. I paused, letting the noise of the coffee shop fill the silence. But then I realized something. I said softly. Her head snapped up, hope flickering in her eyes. "You were right. You said you could do better. And the truth is, so could I." The hope died in her eyes, instantly replaced by shock. I realized I could do better than a partner who mocks me to her friends. I could do better than someone who views my loyalty as a weakness. I could do better than someone who needs a wolf to feel validated because she is too empty to validate herself. I checked my watch. "That is 10 minutes. I stood up. "Mark, wait." She scrambled up, knocking her chair back. "You cannot just leave me here. I have nowhere to go. Jessica is kicking me out next week. I have nothing." I looked at her one last time. "You have your freedom, Alina. You wanted to be single. You wanted passion. You wanted the unpredictability of the wolf." I buttoned my suit jacket. "Now you have it. Good luck." I walked out of the Starbucks and into the crisp evening air. I did not look back. I knew if I did I would see her crying in the window, a portrait of consequences she never thought she would have to pay. But looking back is for people who are not sure where they are going. As I waited for the valet, my phone buzzed. It was a text from Claire, a pediatric surgeon I had been seeing for the past month. "Surgery ran late, but I am free. Dinner at 8. I know a place that has terrible service but amazing wine." I smiled. "Perfect. I am on my way." The valet pulled up. I tipped him, slid into the driver's seat of my new coupe, something sporty. A little impractical, a car for a man who did not have to worry about hauling someone else's baggage. As I merged into traffic, I passed the Starbucks one last time. Through the glass, I saw Alina. She was on her phone, frantically typing, probably texting Jessica or her mother or searching for the next Ryan to save her. She looked small. She looked irrelevant. For 5 years, I had tried to be the hero of her story. I had tried to be the rock. The provider, the safety net, and she had despised me for it. She wanted a challenge. She got one, life without the buffer of a good man. She wanted to do better. She was welcome to try. But as I shifted gears and accelerated onto the highway, leaving the city and her behind me, I knew the truth. She had gone looking for a wolf, only to realize too late that she had abandoned the only lion who would have ever protected her. I did not hate her anymore. I did not love her anymore. I just did not think about her at all. And that is the best revenge there is.